Alright, this is the 6th video, this time about APIs. It should be shorter than the others. So for those not programming in JavaScript, you of course may have been wondering how can you call the APIs if we are exposing them through JavaScript methods. So you don't have to know JavaScript, you just have to know how to use this panel here. So this panel that you can open and close at will in any web page is where you find the developer tool. So I'm going to close it using the shortcut, and this is how you do it slowly through the manual model. There it is, developer tools, and we have the shortcut here. So we've left the sources tab open so we can get to the code easily. This is from another project. There it is. So for instance, you see here the different methods: post, make tokens, get parameters, create new tokens, etc. So if you click on this tab here, the network, we'll see the use of the methods and we'll be able to investigate their composition. So you have this explained here from your favorite language, R, Python, Julia, whatever it may be, and for your favorite analytical environment, RStudio, Jupyter Notebooks, Julia, Pluto. Again, whatever it may be, as long as you can make a URL call, then you can retrieve the composition of the URLs associated with each call and use it accordingly. We actually think this is easier than a more traditional Swagger document because the logic underneath the donation mechanism is one that is built in the parameterization of the URL call, so the URL composition. So it may be easier actually to get to them by just making calls. So let's pick an example, for instance, get. We are going to get the contents, say, of this submission here. I just noticed it's the first token, so I'm going to copy it from here. There we go. So donor, get, we have the token. Wait, and if you want to see the result, we parse it. So you could be copying that from the wiki as well. So when I'm going to press enter, you'll see the network recording the call. There it is. So let's give it more space. So if you now click on the entry, you have all the details. You know that this was the call was made, and you just noticed that I'm not looking at the right deployment. See here, the message is no valid token provided because I'm targeting the wrong deployment. So I should be targeting this deployment here. So there we go. And to find the deployment, here it is. Let's open it. Set URL. And now let's make the call again. And now you got the data. Let's make sure it's the right data. This one. Some data, etc. So now you see here the URL call. You can now make this call from your favorite URL caller in your favorite language. You can also use the browser to confirm that it's working. And what you find here is that if you use localhost, it doesn't work. But if you point it to the place where the test deployment is made available to you, you get the values. You need to put this in a place where the JavaScript is clear. There it is. So for all the commands you've used in the past, including those that associate OAuth to bearer tokens with donor tokens, all of those you just have to make the call, come here and see how it works. For some methods like post, for example, now that you know this is working, let's get the data, x, and add something else, more data, equals, and now we have something in decreasing order. So this is the thing we want to post. There it is. We now have more data here. Let's go back here so we can visualize it. So we should see this changing when we make the call, and then we can come here and investigate what is the URL composition for that call, which you may want to either call directly from your favorite language or create your own SDK if you want to automate the process. So we go here, we got it, now we set it, comma X. So we'll pay attention both here to the panel where this is a timeline and these are the calls. So you should see another one show up here. There we go. Oops, done set. It's not set, it's post. It is. So it's the post method. Again, let's keep an eye here. Something's going to happen at the end and the values should change here. There it is. So imagine you're doing this, say, from RStudio, and you're changing values of one or more elements, maybe with summary statistics, for example. So you just go here, and what you find out is that in addition to the URL, you now have a payload. This is the post method, not the get method. So the payload is here, and you see that the JSON object we are passing through, and it's here, 876543, 876543. Was passed by. So last test would be to go to your favorite environment and figure out how do you specify the payload. It's going to be an input argument of a native command in your favorite language. And then you can pass not just get calls, which is everything else we've done, but also post calls. This is the only method that doesn't rely on get, but does post, because you're passing content into the backend. If you have any issues, please let us know. We are happy to help, and you'll be able to provide your issues here. And at some point, we'll probably put a link in the page right at the top with issues and also a chat channel. So you'll see that emerging here. In any case, you can always go to the GitHub repository and ask us for help. All right, we'll stop here. Bye now.